So I'd like to talk a little bit about an inconsistency that's been in the game ever since the new Dojo obstacle course was introduced, the one in which you can build your custom courses, and that is that the velocity is not being applied properly, some form of velocity. And for those of us that are trying to build very unit specific and very difficult maps, this is quite the problem. So I made a bug report about this a long time ago and that got no traction, so I'm doing it in video form to show this issue in motion. So for those of us that have done parkour or speedruns before, you'll know that aside from player skill, there are three main factors into what affects the Warframe's capabilities. The first being mods, as you'd expect, most notably Endurance Drift for its 12% increase to parkour velocity, and Ice Spring or similar mods that give a 24.2% increase to bullet jump length and to aim glide duration. So very potent mods. And on top of that we have two tools, the first being the Tiles Boltes, which has a passive that provides a 20% increase to bullet jump velocity and aim glide duration. And then the Nyx Menticide helmet, the arcane variant of this helmet, gives a 25% increase to the velocity and distance of all parkour maneuvers. So the bonuses from these two tools stack on top of all these mods and make the Warframe very maneuverable, as you would expect. So just for a baseline, I'm just going to go in with no increases equipped. You can clearly see I've got no special helmet on, and I do not have the Tiles Boltes equipped. And we're going to go into my custom course, in which I have 4 platforms set up, just to show you how much of a difference these things make. So bullet jumping directly up, I can land feet down on this platform every time. This has got no player skill involved, this is just what the Warframe is capable of doing in the game on its own with no third-party buffs. So that's easy. Now we go back to the arsenal. I'm just going to equip all the mods, so we'll swap over to config C, and then we'll go and do that again, back through the portal, back to the custom course. Go and try that again. And you can clearly see feet down on platform 2 every time. Consistency, no problem. Alright, let's go back to the arsenal. We're going to equip the Tiles Boltes for its passive, which does not need to be actively held, it just needs to be in your loadout for said passive to apply to your frame, contrary to what the wiki says, unless they've just worded it really weirdly. Back over here, you can see that I can make platform 3 feet down, no problem. Now finally, we're going to go and put the Arcane Menticide helmet on. So appearance, Menticide, and this is exclusive for Nyx, obviously. Back to the custom course. I'll try it again, and currently Nyx has every velocity increase available to be equipped on her, and you can see that I can make the 4th platform, no problem. Every time, as I said, no player skill involved. Now looking at these platforms, you can see there's a very big discrepancy, very big vertical discrepancy in how far this frame can jump with these things equipped, which is, as you'd expect, that makes sense. Now this boost isn't just vertical, it is also applied horizontally, so I can move about the environment much quicker with these things equipped than I could without. Again, as you would expect, because that makes sense. Now the problem comes when you're in a room that is built specifically for the players to build their own courses, in build mode, and then go into a timed play competitive mode and compete against one another. So there's build mode, there's timed mode. Now it's very important that the physics between these two modes are consistent, otherwise it is just rendering the whole system completely pointless. So everything that I can do in build mode I should be able to do in play mode, in timed mode. And you can see, as I just showed you, that with all the velocity increases I have equipped, I can make it onto that 4th platform every time, no problem, in decoration mode or just regular dojo mode. And it's worth noting that this mode is what is applied to the old obstacle course. But then we step into the new course, whatever room this is called, and I still have all those same boosts equipped, and you would expect that I could still make it onto that platform, but I can't. I can get nowhere near it. That is, the 4th platform here is clearly well out of reach. Looks like I can make it onto the 3rd one, so let's do that. Yep, I can grab onto that. So if we're assuming Nyx is, say, 6 feet tall, that looks like about 12 feet that has been taken out of a 50-foot jump, which is a very sizable chunk of our maneuverability. That was, that jump there seems perfectly reasonable when we're looking at it in the building mode, but then as soon as we actually go into the real testing timed mode, it is literally impossible, objectively impossible. So that's a huge problem for those of us that are really dedicated to building some specific and difficult courses. Like I used to be, back in Call of Duty 2 days, I was in a community that was all about these jump maps. We used to build very, very specific maps. Like we would all be aware that the player model can jump 32 units vertically or 32 units horizontally, unless you strafe jump, in which you can get about 46. I don't really remember the numbers specifically, but we used to have to toggle between frame rates of 62, 125 or 333, back in that old game, and that would give us extra height or extra length in our jumps, so we'd have to time those and toggle between them as we're trying to achieve different things. It was quite a hectic setup, and people created some insane things, utilizing all the tools given to us. But now, this room was introduced, and I was expecting something similar. I was expecting for those of us that enjoyed that kind of, that community, to be able to re-experience it in a modern game, and a modern game like Warframe, which has this amazing movement system. And yet there is no consistency between these modes, and we can't take full advantage of all the tools given to us because of that inconsistency. So, that's hugely disappointing. In my eyes, this room is a complete failure, even though the people have been building some really awesome things. There's been a lot of stuff on Primetime or on the Reddits that's really cool, but for what I was hoping for, and for what my community in that regard was hoping for, it's very lackluster, very disappointing. So that's the vertical side of it. Ooh, I'm in the course, so let's just go ahead and show this now. This is this is the first jump of my second dojo, second obstacle course, the first being built to work with the Arcane Menticide helmet, and then I found the inconsistencies, so after a few weeks I finally deleted that and I just started doing this again today. But then I found that the velocity issue is more than just the Menticide helmet, and it goes a lot deeper. So this jump from platform to platform here is designed to be done without the Menticide helmet equipped, and it is at the limit of what a Warframe is capable of doing if executed properly without that helmet, without that velocity boost. So I have the helmet equipped now, which means I should be able to clear this very easily, but I can't. You see that I'm losing out, I'm sort of dropping off on the last 15-20%, when I should be able to touch the wall on the far end with this helmet equipped. So let's go back out here, and we'll exit the course. This is going to teleport me somewhere stupid probably. We'll find out. Yep, not where I want to be. I'm going to have to run to a portal. Back to the custom course. And now I'm going to attempt that same jump in decoration mode. I can place all these decorations that I want. This start thing will do nothing because it's not relevant, but I still have the helmet equipped. And you can see that I've got much more velocity, and I'm capable of making that jump without much effort. It's quite easy. And back, no problem. Easy peasy. Which is a huge problem when as I said, you're trying to build these very difficult maps, and that consistency is just not being carried across. Now I thought that I would build all these and it would be pretty easy to reverse engineer it and find out exactly what the problem is, and then I could just build a course that doesn't rely on it. But what I found is that it actually goes deeper than that, and it's not just that I don't want to leave the dojo. It's not just that the velocity from like helmets and mods are not being applied properly, it's that the physics of the game are not working as intended in that room for some unknown reason. I'm just going to strip everything back off. We'll get rid of the Menticide helmet to the Carnifex. We'll teleport back into the custom course, and as I've already shown you, and I'll show you once again, I should be able to bullet jump directly up and land on this platform, no problem. No skill involved. Oh. Try that again. Boom, easy. Feet down on the platform. Done. In decoration mode. Now let's just jump back into the actual timed mode and see what that has to say. Here we are. Still none of these velocity boosts equipped. I should be able to make this platform as I just demonstrated, but I can't. I can probably grab onto the lip, but that is at least 6 feet of vertical jumping capability that has disappeared between build mode and timed mode. And as I keep saying, that's a huge problem. So I made a bug report on this a long time ago when I first noticed that my original course was completely worthless because Menticide was not being applied. It didn't really get any traction, so I've decided to come and do it in video form and show the bug in action, as I said at the beginning of the video. I'm going to make another bug report, the link to which will be in the description of this one when it is uploaded. And for those of you that would love to see this fixed, and for anyone that has any respect for me or just the community that builds amazing things, it just doesn't make sense. It baffles me. I don't understand why these tools are not working as they are supposed to. It would be amazing for all of you to just go and throw around a few upvotes, share your thoughts, because the only way to make DE listen to the community is for the community to be upset and in an uproar. So, thanks.